I did find it was important. I felt like it was really important that we at least learn the truth, right? Or as much of the truth as possible so that we can be able to garner our own ideas and our own beliefs and move off of that, right? So like I said, this is Lay. This video is from today. Oh no. Oh, they just dropped it today. But today's the 30th, April 30th. So this video came out on April 27th. If you're on Instagram, you can't see it. But if you are on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, you should be able to see it. So we'll get into it.
It has been thrown into a wave of purges, unlike anything we've seen before.
Who?
In the past few months,
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought I was making a beat. I'm sorry, shout. Please don't hit me, bro.
Unlike anything we've seen.
Well, I was making a beat, man. I was making a beat.
PLA's most powerful commanders all once considered Xi Jinping's trusted ally.
I'm sorry. I'm start over. I'm in that foolishness.
PLA has been thrown into a wave of purges, unlike anything we've seen before. Recently, some of the PLA's most powerful commanders, all once considered Xi Jinping's trusted allies, have either been dismissed or rumored to be under investigation. This includes Admiral Miao Hua, the man Xi Jinping relied on to manage the PLA political work and personnel, and General He Weidong, the vice chairman of the CMC.
So what she's been saying for the last couple of days or so, there's a lot of inner turmoil going on in China. Like you would think, the way that they've been positioned or the way that we keep hearing about them, that they're just, standing strong and which they are kind of standing strong. But internally, it's a lot of turmoil. Half of them were already at odds with Xi Jinping. You know what I mean? He had supporters, of course, but not really. He devoted his way into the office, right? So he had people against him. And then you got people that are against him now, even more so because of the stance that he's taken and how much China's suffering because of the tariffs.
At first glance, it doesn't make sense. Why would Xi Jinping purge his own inner circle? The very generals he personally fast-tracked to the top. Maybe the purge isn't being driven by Xi Jinping at all. Maybe it's the work of his political opponents. 3 days ago, more information leaked out of China. I want to show you this man. His name is Zhao Lanjian. And
Zhao Lanjian.
The person who revealed
Zhao Lanjian.
He Weidong's arrest about right after the annual two sessions on March 13th. He revealed that on April 17th, the Central Military Commission issued a classified notice to all officers ranked Major General and above, including retired generals. The delivery was tightly controlled. The generals were either allowed to read it on site or had it read aloud to them. There was no recordings allowed. No notes were allowed. The document reviewed stunning new developments in the cases of Miao Hua and He Weidong. The accusations? Well, Miao and He were charged with forming a political faction or factions inside the military. Their crimes were summarized in 5 areas. First, undermining the CMC chairman's absolute control. Number 2, poisoning the military's political environment. Number 3, corrupting the officers. And number 4, sabotaging anti-corruption efforts. Number 5, disrupting personnel planning for the upcoming 21st Party Congress, which is scheduled for 2027. The authorities used rare, damning language to describe their crimes. Atrocious traitors disguised as loyalties. That's what they're being called. And their crimes are unpardonable. According to the leaks, here's what happened, okay? So before the 20th Party Congress, Miao Hua once tried and failed to replace Xu Qiliang as CMC vice chairman. After failing, Miao shifted his support behind He Weidong.
All the dudes that she's showing, they pictures, they all look mad as hell. Xi Xiaoyao looks pissed.
Helping him.
I'm sure that's not his name. I'm sure.
Party Congress. When Miao was arrested, panic swept across the PLA top ranks. 3 top generals.
He weirdo.
Wang Houbing, the newly promoted Rocket Force commander.
His name was like he weirdo.
Commander of East Theater Command, and Wang Xiubing, former Southern Theater commanders.
Wang.
Reportedly robbed
Wang.
He Weidong that same night, offering gifts and briberies and begging for protection. However, it didn't save them. Not long after, He Weidong himself was arrested. And as soon as he was taken into custody, he flipped, immediately naming Wang Houbing, Wang Xiubing, and Lin Xiangyang, the
Dang.
man that you see on the screen, as his co-conspirators.
Snitch quick.
The Zhao's revelations didn't stop there. In addition, the CMC has ordered a new political campaign across the entire military. The main targets? Okay, listen to this. Every officer ranked Major General and above, including retirees, is the target. Everyone is now subject to political vetting. And there's more. If a senior officer wants to leave their local area, they must apply for permission, and the request must be approved through multiple levels. And senior promotions will now follow a new rule, which is better to leave a vacancy than promote the wrong person. Just 3 days after the internal notice was...
Their military is fighting amongst each other. Like, you ever have... That wasn't gonna be a good analogy. All I know is them niggas started a fight and didn't have wind. You know what I mean? They weren't working out in the gym prior to the fight. You know what I'm saying? And it makes sense. I mean, because when you think about it, Trump came into office and he announced the tariffs. It was all kind of sudden, took the whole world by shock. China didn't really have time to prepare for it, and it shows. So their government's been exposed, their military has been exposed, their exporting and importing practices have been exposed, and yeah, you know, they picked the wrong fight. They not weak though, not to be construed and think that they, you know, but boy, let's keep it going. Almost done.
distributed. On April 20th,
It's almost done, right?
bombshell hit
It's crazy.
Mr. Zhao,
But they got everybody thinking that
who is now under investigation. And his
what we're doing as far as tariffs and all this stuff is just terrible.
he
No,
was promoted last July.
it's making stuff move.
Third plenum. Xi Jinping presided a ceremony and awarded He Hongjun his promotion.
And mind you, China would not even be in this position if it wasn't for us. Letting them into the World Trade Organization and giving them assistance and helping them out with all these stupid policies that allowed them to come up. We were just trying to help them out. The niggas came up and then took over and started to be like, no, nigga, we don't need your help. This is our trap. And then they came in our trap and took over our trap. No. That's not gonna work, dog. We gonna have to cut that off. And if you want, no, it ain't finna play like that, dog.
To full general in a special solo ceremony, something extremely unusual. So he was being groomed to succeed Miao Hua, who was 68 years old and slated for retirement soon. He Hongjun's loyalty to Xi Jinping was even more absolute.
Shout saying,
Miao Hua. So Miao Hua was promoted by Jiang Zemin to Major General, and then by Hu Jintao to Lieutenant
Right.
General. Only later did Xi Jinping.
And you're right about that. I had to press pause. Sorry, Twitch. But you are so right about that, Keisha. So look, they treated us like we needed them, but clearly you see that they needed us. We're the buyer. They can have all the dope in the world, But if it ain't nobody to buy the dope, you just sitting on it just to get banged up. And they've been trying to. So with us being the largest consumer, now they have to go to other places. And what's been beautiful about the tariffs is the tariffs also attack those countries as well. I hate to say attack like that, but it also targets them as well. So all those back doors through Taiwan, which Taiwan is the hot spot. That's the main thing. Think about all the things over the years. You'd be like, it was made in Taiwan, right? And got exported here. Imported to here. So all of those little side countries, Malaysia, they all got tagged too. We hit China with high tariffs. We hit all of them too. So China can't do no backdoor. Can't send it off to Mexico and then letting Mexico send it in that way. Like, no, bro. None of that. None of that. We don't need that. We don't. And then everything that we create. So if we have a company, if we got a product and we want to expand our market, free market society, we go into China. Say we want to do that in China. They could do that. People could sell here all day. If we wanted to sell in China, though, they'll let us. But it's mandatory that you give the patent. You have to give up how you made it. That's why whenever we make something or whenever something new come out, dope as hell here in America, China already got the cheap version of it. You know what I'm saying? They got the patent, they know how to do it. They just make it on their own, manufacture their own, make a whole bunch of cheap ones and then send it to us for us to buy on Amazon or Temu or Shein. I'm just saying, man, fuck out. You gotta get that out of there. I'm sorry, I gotta bleep all this. I gotta do a lot of editing, but that's fine. But you're absolutely right, Keisha. They acted like that, and now we see where that chip lies, right? Man, they had the game all messed up.
But He Hongjun was elevated every step of the way.
Bad business.
Himself. He Hongjun was Xi Jinping's purest personal pick, unmatched in the entire PLA. That's why He Hongjun's arrest is so shocking. And it's not just
he was arrested. Wow, the general was arrested.
Who handles military personnel. His name is Chen Jiang, was also arrested. The fall of
his name was Kiatiam. I'm sure that's not what she said, but it sounded like it, right?
His name is Chen Jiang.
His name is Kiatiam.
Arrested. The fall of He Hongjun and one of his close associates marks another brutal blow against Xi Jinping's trusted allies inside the military. Well, first of all, I have to say the leaked information is highly credible. First, it came from the same source who first broke the news of He Weidong's arrest a month ago. Secondly, it offers some incredible details that match information from another independent source, which I will explain later. Third, the timing made sense. This all happened while Xi Jinping was out visiting 3 Southeastern Asian countries. Now let's break down some key points buried in the.
I feel like I got hair growing out my neck.
We need to pay attention to. First, Miao Hua and He Weidong's cases were linked. Second, they weren't just guilty of corruption. The charges were political and extremely serious. All of it points in the same direction. Miao Hua and He Weidong and their allies weren't just forming cliques. They were planning to grab military power and control key appointments in the PLA. Think about it. That's the equivalent of plotting a military coup.
Yeah.
In CCP's history, only the most dangerous traitors have ever been called great traitors in disguise. But here's the big question. Who were they plotting against?
And what's crazy, you know, the contemporary American comp is to that? A couple of the Democrats like Chuck Schumer and those guys, why his name had to be Chuck, but them, since Trump has been in office, they began their own little side government. They even announced it. They talked about it. I'm sure they still hold it. I don't know how that's not treason. For you to set up a whole nother branch to completely undermine the executive branch, to completely do the opposite of what the current law states. It's just, and we're dealing with immigration and stuff like that. So anybody that's fighting immigration and like, dude, they don't got no rights. Nigga, you ain't no citizen. There ain't no due process for you, bro. I can't go to Japan as an American citizen and just lay there and just be there all of a sudden, shouter. And then when they tell me to leave, no, you got to make sure I leave under due process. And I'm in the Crips. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm allegedly in the Crips. Like, come on, bro. It don't even make sense when you put it in another context like that. It's just why, man, all this shit is crazy, bro. It's treason. I see treason. The judges that's doing all this, I think it's treasonous. I think, you know what I mean? But that's why I'm just a comedian, actor, musician. And what I say doesn't really hold weight.
They trying to overthrow Xi Jinping? Honestly, I'm not convinced. Yes, it's true that many PLA officers are unhappy with Xi Jinping. They're extremely unhappy with him. But how many of them have the guts to turn against the big boss?
Extremely unhappy with Xi Jinping.
Xi Jinping's own top commanders, men he handpicked and fast-tracked to the top, will be willing to risk everything they have to turn against him. The idea that they suddenly went crazy and tried to seize Xi Jinping's power, that just doesn't add up. Now, let's go back to what happened when Miaohua fell, according to the internal document. So, Wang Houbin...
Yeah, it sounds like treason, man. I don't see no other way. You know what I mean? Like,
overnight to He Weidong's home, bringing gifts and money, begging for protection.
It doesn't even make sense.
But here's where it gets very suspicious. First of all, if you're trying to seek protection through bribery, you do it quietly, one-on-one. You don't bring 3 top generals to show up at the same time. That alone tells us this wasn't about personal favors. Something deeper was going on. Secondly, everyone knows that He Weidong rose through the ranks because his ties to Xi Jinping in Fujian and the backing of Miaohua.
Yeah.
After Miao's downfall,
meow, 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 face ass.
Was shaky. He could barely protect himself, let alone shield 3 other generals. If these generals really wanted protection, they should have gone to someone outside their faction, like Zhang Youxia, the other vice chairman. So the idea that He Weidong could protect Wang Houbin, Wang Xiubin, and Lin Xiangyang all at once is completely unrealistic. Now imagine the scene. 3 top generals already under suspicion, gathering secretly at He Weidong's home. That doesn't look like bribery. It looks like
coercion. Yeah.
It smells like planning. And these weren't random officers. They were Xi Jinping's core war team, handpicked for Taiwan operations. While Wang Houbin is
Wang Ho,
commander of the rocket force.
Wang Ho.
Lin Xiangyang was
Wang Ho.
theater commander.
Booty clapping sounds.
He was the commander of the Southern Theater Command, and later was transferred to the Joint Operations Command Center. And He Weidong, the vice chairman of CMC, who is put in charge of Taiwan strategy. Each held real battlefield authority. These were powerful men in the PLA. Will they really gather in secret in the dead of night just to offer a few million yuan in bribes to a man whose position is as shaky as theirs? Unlikely. Well, there's a political analyst who does not believe. Yeah, his name is Tang Jingyuan. So he is.
Say that shit 2 times fast.
Does analysis on
just twice
politics and China affairs. So in his YouTube channel, Mr. Tang said that the 3 generals secretly met with He Weidong to plot a military coup. But it was not a coup against Xi Jinping. Mr. Tang said that they were trying to help Xi Jinping stage a comeback fight. The real target was Zhang Youxia and the party elders.
Do y'all see Johnny hairline?
Information from a reliable source that says that Xi Jinping orchestrated a comeback fight against the party elders, but he failed. That's why they were labeled atrocious traitors disguised as loyalists. Their failed action triggered the massive purge of Xi Jinping's loyalists inside the PLA. Now, Mr. Tang revealed that he had received the information about Xi Jinping's attempted comeback. He received the information about a month ago. He didn't share it immediately with the public because he was waiting for more evidence. Now, with Mr. Zhao's latest disclosures, everything lines up. Tang believes the current sweeping purge of Xi Jinping's military faction is the aftermath of Xi Jinping's failed attempt to regain control of the PLA. And if you think about it, this explanation makes the most sense. Otherwise, the idea that Xi Jinping is suddenly and ruthlessly bringing down his own loyalists simply just doesn't add up. On April 23rd, 2025, the CCP held its national
7 days ago, a week ago,
Model Cities Commendation Conference. It's a mouthful to say. A similar event was held in October 2020. But compared to the event in 2020, this time, the attendance list revealed three major absences.
Them three? Oh.
Xi Jinping and his top aide, Cai Qi, did not attend the event, breaking long-standing protocol. And then CMC Vice Chairman He Weidong was absent. Zhang Youxia appeared in his place. And then He Hongjun, who Xi Jinping promoted last July, was also unexpectedly missing from the event. So these striking absences perfectly line up with what Mr. Zhao leaked. It's to support Mr. Zhao's information. They offer further proof that the ground under Xi Jinping is rapidly collapsing.
See? So I just wanted to drop that quick little video. I had never seen it before either, but like I said, I've been watching her content for like the past month or so, since these tariffs and all that stuff between us and China has really been picking up. And like I said, she's Chinese herself. I don't know if she's here or she's there. I'm pretty sure she's in America, because if she was there, she wouldn't have been able to talk freely and post it on YouTube. But I wanted to show that video, and I'll continue to show more videos like this that's a little bit different than what you're not seeing. Definitely not on Main Street, but you might not be seeing this type of stuff when you're scrolling on Instagram or TikTok or whatever you're on. I like to think I have a pretty awesome algorithm that shows me a variety of things. So this is just one. Like I said, her name is Lay's Real Talk, so you can follow her if you want. But she drops like new videos just about every day. But I wanted to show just there's a difference in what you're probably hearing and what's the truth. So hopefully this gives you another outlet or another light to shine on the subject, right? So you got this point of view, you got this point of view. Hopefully this gives you like a key light point of view, give you a little bit more to discern and try to figure out for yourself. But what I got out of this is basically, China's in trouble, man. Internally, not just what we're doing or externally or nothing like that. You can't do bad business around the world. You know what I mean? You can't do bad business, period. But if you're doing bad business, it's going to catch up with you. Doing bad business around the world, it's going to catch up with you. And right now, when China probably would have been in a stronger position because they're all over the world right now with their endeavors, they've been treating people like hell. Africa, their own people, wherever. And, people don't like people, the people of those people who have been wronged haven't forgotten. And if it's between China, doing business with China or doing business with US, so anyway, y'all, I appreciate y'all for rocking out with me tonight. As always, it's always a good time. Once again, yeah, that's so appreciate it. And once again, I'll try to get back on tomorrow night. What's today? Wednesday? So I'll try to do Thursday tonight. If not, of course, I'll be here Friday night, 8 p.m. We're going to work on a little bit of music. We're going to go through a couple of more reaction videos. If y'all got anything that y'all want me to talk about or to post up on the page, send it to the email bookcwmedia@gmail.com. I'll put the link in the description as well. I'll probably try to put that up on the video somewhere over, maybe on this side, probably here. I don't know. But, yeah, hope you learned something. And that's gonna be all for me, man. I'm tired. My old lady's in there like, I wish you needs to get finished streaming so you can come and give me penis. All right, so love y'all. As always, do everything with love. I am out this thing. Peace out. And if I said something rough to you today, man, just not only told you that because I love you. Gone.